Hey, what's going on, Freedomers? I wanted to share a video on why your parents don't believe in you. I'm gonna share a part of my story and my truth of why your parents don't believe in you. So, for 7 months out of the year of this year, I was homeless, and I had a deep realization. Like, I was talking to one of my mentors, and she's also an intuitive, a psychic, and that she said that my father gave me the option to be homeless out of love, out of the fact that he believed in me so much so that he believed in me so much so that he put me out, and he said, well, believe me, so even more greater than my brothers, that he put me out, and he said, you're gonna have to go figure out. You're gonna have to be a man, I guess, in simplest of words. And in my truth, and in my deeper knowing, I think that's surface level stuff. I think that's surface level. I think that's surface level. I think that's surface level thinking, in the sense of, in the understanding of saying that you can tell. That's what you tell the world. Cause I'm into astrology a lot, right? So my fourth house is in Libra, and one of the things that the fourth house in Libra has to deal with is the world of illusion. So what the fourth house in Libra does is they like to put on the front for the world. So, and when you really go deeper in substance, it's really shallow. And I think that's the shallow answer of what my father would say. And being a North Node in Scorpio, one of the things that what I'm really good at on the low is being a detective and being a psychic. So I'm gonna know the stuff that you're not gonna tell me. That if that truth came out, you have to sit with yourself and understand that truth. So when I say this is titled "Why Your Parents Don't Believe in You," because let me give you an example of why my father didn't believe in me, and he put me out to show his disbelief. It took my father almost 4 to 8 months to sit at the table with me and say, you're going to be better than me. He said it once. He never said it twice, 3 times, 4 times. Every time he spoke to me for years about entrepreneurship, he always said that I'm trying to be like him. Little did he realize I wanted to be nothing like him. Little did he realize it's actually against my soul mission to be like him. Little did he realize that, we were nothing alike. At 23, he was having his second child. At 23, I'm still a virgin. At 23, I had my first kiss like 2 years ago. That's the latest action that I've had, right? At 23, he wasn't chasing his dream. At 23, he was finding a hustle to provide for his children. At 23, I'm building my empire. At 23, I've helped dozens of black people make thousands of dollars. I've helped people make scale their following and their brand, hundreds of thousands. I'm about almost 150,000 followers deep now, collectively with my clients. At 23, I'm going to be traveling the world. At 23, I'm going to be doing a lot for somebody my age and my family. I'm really here to break the chain in many regards, right? And when my father gave me that option to get out, why I said me and my coach didn't agree, because when you put somebody out like that, when you put somebody out the way he put me out, is the way you put somebody out who's not doing shit with themselves. meaning they sit and they look for a handout, they ask for money, they they're they're not doing nothing with themselves. And that's often what he said that I was doing, which was not the truth. And it's just that I wasn't where I could have been according to what he thought I should be. And that means according to his ego, that means according to his schooling, etc., etc. And I thought to myself, I was an entrepreneur. I was building my business. I never asked for any money. I never asked him to pay no bills for me. I never asked him to do anything for me. And the only thing I didn't do that he subsided for was paying rent. Like, he asked for $300 a month and I never paid it. I paid it once or twice. And that's it. And I had the deep understanding of my father especially in that moment, didn't believe, he couldn't believe that because I was focused. Because this was something, like for instance, I went to Starbucks day in, day out to build my business. Day in, day out, every single day when I was at my parents' house, like I still do now, right? I didn't change. I did not doing anything different. I do the same thing. I have an office. When I was homeless, I did the same thing every day. If Starbucks wasn't a business, it'd be crazy where I'd be at right now. And my life would be harder. Or I would have to get like a high-end gym membership, like it would cost me like $175 a month, and work from there, which is fine. It's pretty great actually. And I had the deep resonance of saying and understanding that that he didn't believe in me so much so when I was telling him the productions in my business and I was producing. The only time he cared to build with me was when he was involved. I had partners that he grew up with become my clients, and he felt a way that they were paying me and they saw the value in me. And more importantly, that one of my clients, who was my longest lasting client, said, why are you trying to go get a job when you can build your business and that's your job, right? And he believed in me more than my father did, because he put his money where his mouth was. He put action to his words. He didn't just talk fluff. He didn't just talk game. He didn't just talk like he was better than me. He made less than my father, and they were in the same field of personal training, and he believed at a higher level in me. And there was a deep understanding of, he didn't believe in me. He chose not to believe in me because I represented the side of himself that he had to deal with if I became massively successful, especially at a young age. I represented the side of himself that if I became massively successful, all the lack of discipline, all the missed opportunities, and the fact that he had to put his ego to the side, or he didn't have the discipline. Like, I'm learning the master key to riches is discipline, right? And at its core, discipline. He didn't have the discipline to get up and to do what he got to do and extract everything else, separate from everybody, and do what he needed to do, from what his heart called him to do. And because he didn't have that discipline, and I had it naturally in a sense of determination, and my earth wasn't high, but it was high enough where it showed like, yo, he won't quit. He won't stop. He's doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over. And he knows it's only a matter of time before he blow up. So what I learned, especially even talking to other people who dated Taurus, is when they don't believe in your dream, they find any way to become a obstacle for you. They find a way to try to break you. Like even my longest lasting client, one of his friends growing up, associates I would say, said, yo, your father's trying to break you before the world breaks you. I think that's a slavery mentality. Because it's often the slave master who told the slave, I'm gonna break you, etc., etc. So that's why I equate slavery with with parenthood, with black parenthood a lot of the time. Because a lot of times we parent like the master and the slave. And I've talked to other adults, and they deeply understand that. It's just that they don't have the courage to tell their parents that, because they don't want to believe that they parent them in like a slave master and a slave. And I had to understand with deep resonance, deep resonance, that he didn't believe in me because, again, I represented the side of himself that he has to deal with when he looks in that mirror at 43, 44 years old and says, yo, I fucked up. I didn't make it. I didn't have the discipline. I didn't have the authority. I didn't have the focus. And the reason why I say that is because in my truth, because again, when I was homeless and my best friend told me she wanted to do the EMT program, I gave her over $300. And I looked my apartment in the face and I said, I'm gonna give it to you because I believe in you. That's somebody who believes in you. Somebody who puts their money where their mouth is. Somebody who says, who puts their action to their words and does the best they can to show you support in any shape, way, or form. And he never really did that. He supported me in the ways that was convenient for him. Meaning, he and my mother showed me support like they gave me a house to live in. And that's convenient, meaning they were going to live there anyway. So they allowed me to live there so I don't have to be in the predicament I'm in now. That's it. And your parents don't believe in you because partially because of their psychology and their programming, and partially because you represent the side of them that they don't want to deal with if you become successful. They have to look in the mirror and say, I failed. Not I tried and I didn't succeed. I failed. I did not make it. Especially if they know you're going to surpass them. They don't have the humility, and I don't like saying that word because that means you have to think less of yourself. They don't have the humility to say, yo, he is better than me. Let me salute him. And because they don't have that humility to understand somebody has something, somebody has something that you don't have or you did not develop, they will not support you. They will not believe in you. They will not understand. They will go out their way to not understand you, even if you're in the same field. Because you were both entrepreneurs, you both use the selfie, you both use Instagram, and you chose not to believe in what I had going on. Now, he only believed in what I got going on if I was marketing his Instagram. And everything in my life, even now, tells me I never want to do business with somebody like that, because they only believed in when I became successful. I want nothing to do with you now. Because where were you when I was struggling? Where were you? Absent. There for convenience, not actual comrade behavior. And that's my alarm. My apologies. So here's what I want to tell you, especially young people. Because my father betrayed me, and in the sense of love, in a quote of love, I had to learn to be loyal to myself. I had to learn to be hungry for myself. I had to learn to be disciplined for myself. I had to learn to love myself. I had to learn to build myself. I had to learn black people are your greatest enemy. Because if my fellow man could treat me that way, imagine what my enemy would do to me. You feel me? And I want you to understand that all of us are not the enemy, but you're gonna have your own flesh and blood say, "Oh, I'm not doing that," just because it makes them feel good, just because it makes them feel convenient, just because they don't want to see you win, just because. And then, but I'm guaranteeing you, we spoke to him today. He's gonna give you the superficial answer. And I said, but I'm telling you, I've had people believe in me when I had nothing. You didn't believe in me when I didn't have $1 to give them. And like, for instance, the young lady who gave me my laptop to build people's Instagrams, she doesn't know me from $1 from nowhere. She doesn't know me from nothing. And she said, I just believe in you. So I'm gonna find somebody who's not using a laptop that has a laptop that they're not using, and I'm gonna get them to send it to you. And that's what she did. That's somebody who believes in you. There's a difference. When somebody doesn't believe in you, they try to put you under hell so you can be tested. But in the universal sense, the universe was really saying, how bad do you really want it? In the universal sense, it said, how bad are you going to stand in truth for what you really want? In the universal sense, I'm going to come out like Miles Monroe said, I'm going to come out the fire not even smelling like smoke. But the crazy part about it is, he often said, I had the story of that guy who run away from his family and then end up apologizing, and I forgot what that guy's name that caught the child's the story that's called, but it'll come to me later maybe. But I often had the story of Joseph, where he sold me into slavery, or slavery meaning hardship, slavery meaning a position where most people die, and I'm gonna end up like Pharaoh. I'm going to become Pharaoh, or become a high priest, or somebody of high position, and I'm going to have to, like my coach is telling me to do, is forgive him. Put yourself in a position where I'm able to embrace him and even feel sorry for him, because you did that to me, and you fucked yourself, because now I'm in a position where God anointed me in many regards. And then I see 444, right? So that's 2 plus 2 is 4, and that's 2 plus 2 is 4 over there, that's 4, so 444, divine guidance and protection, right? So, as I say that, so I had to understand, your parents don't believe in you because they didn't believe in themselves. So, because they don't want to deal with themselves like most adults do, they choose to abandon you like they did to themselves. So you have to have the strength enough to stand in your truth, stand in your lane, stand in your power, and discipline yourself enough to get to where you need to go. Not just to break the chain for them, but to break the chain for the people after you. Because I never want my younger sister saying, you gotta be homeless because you want to go start your business, you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to do whatever. That would be the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. And that's why I said I can't believe that he said he loved me. Because if I'm an entrepreneur and I know what freedom tastes like, why would I try to coach you in slavery so I can feel satisfied? Why would I do that? Because I know successful entrepreneurs, like, even when there was one guy on the block that he was highly successful in network marketing. And you know what he said he's going to teach his son as soon as he get of age? In network marketing. Same thing the millionaire mentor that he said he was going to get for real estate, that's exactly what he said he's teaching his son, entrepreneurship. He let him quit his job. So he can start entrepreneurship. And when we left that conference that day, my father turned to me in the car, looked me in my eye after we come from that conference, where this guy said that he let his son quit his job so he could become a writer, so he could build his entrepreneurial business. He turned around and he looked at me and he said, you need to get a job. That's how much disbelief he had in me. But really, it was for himself. So here's what I want you to do. Here's what I challenge you to do. When they don't believe in you, find people, or find things immediately. Find an environment immediately to go believe, to help believe in you, conferences, etc., etc. Or even if that means you need to walk alone, get your apartment and go on your own, you do that. You do that. And I had to understand only you can believe in you. And your parents, your family, your friends won't believe in you because they don't believe in themselves like most adults don't. Do yourself a favor and believe in you. Because your life, your dreams, your goals are the only thing that's going to get you, are only thing that get you where you need to go, and only you can make it a reality.